falls on me now to wrap up. So hopefully everyone's had an interesting afternoon in terms of seeing what the industry can do, is doing about reducing its carbon footprint on the planet. And it seems to me that there is a lot being done. There is a lot more to do, but we're not doing nothing. And from the supply chain to contractors to asset owners, water companies, to gas networks, there's a lot going on, a lot of energy and thought process going on how we can turn this situation around. So going back to my original curve where the carbon emissions have gone up exponentially over the last 50 or 60 years, we're now trying to bring it back now in the most ambitious targets being 10 years, to bring that curve right back down again so that we can actually have a much lighter touch on the planet, really, so that we're not using up resources, so we're not polluting the atmospheres at such a rate that life as we know it will not continue for much longer. So I think it's encouraging, but there's a lot more to do. But it's also, I don't know, for me, it means the next 10 years are going to be busy and they're going to be exciting, from a scientific point of view, from an engineering point of view. And just knowing that we're actually making a difference rather than being responsible for degrading the planet, we can actually be responsible for restoring it. So all really encouraging, I think, and hopefully we've all learned from, I know I have, learned from all these ideas. It would be quite nice to see people taking away their own ideas about what they can do and seeing how that can influence others to do things. But maybe that can be done afterwards if not now. So it sort of brings to a close, really, I think. And I'd certainly like to thank all the presenters today. So for putting in the time and effort and sharing their knowledge to make a really enjoyable afternoon. So thank you to all the presenters. Thank you to our sponsors, Fastflow and Cadent. And thank you to the Guild head office staff, so Catherine, Kate and Rebecca, who's been doing the slides, I think. And all of it seems to work pretty well. I think a few people might have had trouble logging in, but for the most part, I think it's all worked pretty seamlessly and we haven't had connectivity issues for the presenters anyway. So thank you, Rebecca, for that all going smoothly. And thank you, Norman, as well, for your guiding wisdom on putting on events such as these. Certainly I rely on it, and I know many others do as well. So I'm going to disappear off this screen shortly and hand you over to Norman, who's going to just mention a few other events that are taking place in the Guild calendar, so up and coming events. So once again, thank you everybody for presenting. Thank you for everyone that took part and everyone that joined us today to make what I hope. I can't see how many people there were, but I think it was a lot. So I'll find out afterwards with some feedback. But yeah, thanks very much everybody to make this event successful. Over to you, Norman.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you'll all agree with me. We've had a really good session this afternoon, and I'd like to join with Richard in thanking all our speakers for taking time out of their busy schedules to provide us with some really thought-provoking and interesting presentations. I'd also again like to thank our sponsors, Cadent and Fastflow Group, for their support of this event. It's really important that our members do support the activities that we put on. And I'd also like to thank the conference organisers. I mean, Richard's done a great job, and his colleagues at the Guild Utilities panel, and also my team at HQ. And without all that enthusiasm and hard work and direction, we simply couldn't really hold this type of event. And of course, I'd also then like to thank you all for attending this conference and your continued support for the Guild. We are looking forward, and we're continuing to plan an exciting and packed programme of events. And I'd just like to highlight a few here. On the 22nd of June, we have our next Green Alliance webinar, where we'll have Simon Farris of Severn Trent Water providing a presentation on Severn Trent's approach to the challenge of reaching net zero and the generation and use of sustainable energy. And this is part of our series of presentations leading up to a Green Alliance seminar session, which is going to be held at NoDig Live in Peterborough on the 16th of September. Then on the 24th of June, we've got the international panel are hosting a webinar entitled Infrastructure and Water, the Work of the Department of International Trade. And this presentation will focus on how the DIT can help UK companies in the infrastructure section to identify opportunities and win business in priority international markets. On the 1st of July, we can join the Southeast branch and Ken Lax for the next presentation in our corrosion protection series, and this will be about high-speed railway systems and buried pipelines. And then our 2021 awards ceremony is scheduled for the 15th of July, and details of this event are going to be available shortly. And then finally, can I remind you that the deadline for entries for the Wales and West PDM paper competition is the 11th of June. We are planning to return to face-to-face meetings in the near future, and the Northern branch have got their karting event scheduled for the 29th of September. And we are now taking bookings for our premier event, the Guild Dinner, which will be taking place at the Grosvenor House Hotel in London on the 8th of March next year. And we also have sponsorship opportunities still available for this dinner. So what I'd say is, if you can look out for our posts that we send out via email or on our website or through social media, and you'll be able to find full details of our future programme. I always like to say this, but we do value your feedback on all our events, good or bad, so please send that in to us. And in addition, please let me know what you would like us to cover within our programme going forward. We're always happy to speak with members, so please don't hesitate to contact us at head office. So that now concludes the formal part of the conference. So thank you again for your support and attending this event. And I look forward to meeting you at some point in the very near future, hopefully. And as Richard said, if you'd like to join us for an informal discussion about today's event and do some networking, then there was another Teams link on the joining instructions, or the link can also be found, I'm told, within the live chat function. So I'll close now and perhaps have an opportunity to have a chat with you from 5:30. So thank you again, and good afternoon.